everyone. It is Monday, and that means it's time for my weekly draft video of the newest format that's on Magic Online anyway, and that still means Kaladesh. Either Vault coming out soonish, so that's good news. This pack is a pretty straightforward first pick, I think. I'll talk about some of the other cards, but Fairgrounds Warden, I think, is, excuse me, just the best card in this pack by a wide margin. This is actually a pretty strong pack, though. I don't hate first picking an Armorcraft Judge. They end up being pretty good most of the time. Gearseeker Serpents, an okay first pick, although going into blue sucks, but generally if you can get Gearseeker Serpents, your deck will be okay, and Artifacts, obviously. Seed Sculptor is solid, and those are kind of the four best cards in this pack. Doomed Operative, Toolcraft Exemplar are fine, and then, you know, sort of the next tier after that is like Sky Swirl Harrier, Self-Assembler, things like that. But we definitely take Fairgrounds Warden here and see what we can do with that. Okay, neither of these white cards are really what I want to be taking here. Well, maybe I do just want Impeccable Timing because this pack is kind of underwhelming in general. Terrible Rare. Pyrohelix is fine, but I don't think it's a whole lot better than Impeccable Timing. It is better, but not by a wide margin, especially when I already have a white card. Well, Vast Monitor's fine. Just a lot of fine things. Glimmer of Genius is probably just like the most powerful card in this pack, but I guess I'll take Impeccable Timing. Just because I already have a white card and sort of stay open there. Okay. Well, here's a, third pick Seed Sculptor is not a huge sign. Wow. Someone could build a dubious challenge deck. That would be a dubious challenge indeed. Shield Guard's fine. I like Eddie Trailhawks, and I like Built to Lasts. And Thriving Ibex is fine too. I mean, I could just take one of these solid white cards, probably the Hawk or the Shield Guard. Or I could take like Die Young, which is another good removal spell. Or I could take a Seed Sculptor. I think I'm going to take the Sculptor. I think it's the best card in this pack anyway. So that is what I will take. Ooh, that's a kind of a late Snare Thopter right there. I mean, I think I take it. I would have been happy first picking it. Well, not with Fairgrounds Warden. Second picking it, at least, or third picking it. I would have taken it over either of these. Doesn't really tell you anything because it's an artifact, of course, but Propeller Pioneer's fine. I wouldn't hate a Sky Skiff either, but Snare Thopter's the best card in this pack by a lot, and it's what we'll take happily. Ooh, well, if we're going to actually have green, splashing blue's not impossible. Subtle Strike's a card I like. But I think I'm going to take Imperial Voyager and see if I can make that happen. It's a great card. The cards I'm giving up, the green cards aren't good, the white cards aren't good, so I'd be going into another color anyway to take like Subtle Strike or Spireside Infiltrator, so I'll just take the most powerful of these cards that are other colors than what I'm already looking at here. It's not like a super late malfunction given how open blue usually is. Spontaneous Artist is fine. World Fast Monitor is fine. I guess I am going to take Malfunction, though. Green and white both looking like they're getting picked clean. So we'll take another blue card in the removal spell Malfunction. Okay, so yeah, not looking great for us. Our first picks sort of seem to have been in colors that now don't seem to be especially open. So we have Foundry's Creature and Chandra's Pyrohelix. I don't like Knightsbridge Patrol enough to want to take him when there's perfectly good black card and a perfectly good red card here. Which is it more likely I play? Well, neither. I mean, it's hard to say. I've seen more good black stuff, I feel like, than I have red. So I think I'm going to take this creature. But yeah, things going kind of crazy here. If I could go base green and splash Fairgrounds Warden, I'd feel pretty good about it. This isn't a great sign that green is open, but it's a playable green card, certainly. It's just not an exciting one. Ether Theorist, though, is a good blue card. I could look just going into, like, blue all in on it here. Looks pretty open. I mean, playable. Blade Master and Hermit are both sort of underwhelming, but I do like Ether Theorist a fair bit, so I will take him. Okay. Well, I think I take a Self-Assembler here over a Harrier. There's an okay indicator that maybe something's open, but I don't know. Kind of looks like something like this, maybe? Green itself doesn't actually look all that open to me. We will have to see. Ooh, Dubious Challenge came back. It's got to mean something. I mean, Quicksmith Genius is the best card in this pack. I guess I'll take it. Kind of all over the place here, but luckily we did pick up 2 colorless playables. And I guess we'll just do this. This has happened to me a few times in this format, and I don't think there's been any super clear signs in this particular draft. You may tell me differently in the comments. I guess I'll take Windrake. I don't love him in this format, but he is playable, and we could use them. I'm not going to try really hard to make blue-green happen. Salivating Gremlins or Vidalcan Blade Master. The Gremlins, I think I take the Blade Master just because it looks like I'm going to be blue. I mean, yeah, I've got 2 of them now. Not exactly exciting. Wouldn't mind cutting one in the end, but our second color, not very clear. And even our blue cards aren't all that exciting. Our best card is by far Fairgrounds Warden. Yeah. Syndicate Trafficker is good. We could certainly think about going blue-black. We do have a few artifacts already, and we do have a good black card. Nature's Way is a strong green card, but I don't know that we're going to be able to see green cards based on how that last pack went. People seem to be picking it dry. Welding Sparks is very good. We could also go blue-red. Not a color combination I love for the most part, but Welding Sparks is a reason to think about it. The question is, do I go Trafficker or Welding Sparks? Sparks is good with 2 Vidalcan Blade Masters. There's that. I think I'll take the Sparks. I think it's better than the Trafficker. That means we play Quicksmith Genius, theoretically. Anyway. Okay, well, we may now be a Gear Seeker Serpent deck after what we said in the early going. We've only got 2 artifacts so far, but we can pick up more. It won't be that hard to do so. There's an Attune with Ether, which could enable us to, be green and then splash for Fairgrounds Warden. That is worth seriously considering. I just wish I felt confident that enough green cards were going to show up. It might be worth the upside. I mean, what we're giving up here is a Gear Seeker Serpent, Shrewd Negotiation as well. I wish I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to make green happen here, forcing it a little bit, but it'll make our deck so much better if we can say splash both of these. Which, if we can just pick up a few more Attunes, I'll feel okay about. And Voyager's really good. I mean, we just gotta hope we see some more green cards. Something we didn't see really in pack 1. Right, here's another Attune. There's also a Foundry Inspector, but I think I'm just gonna go all in on these Attunes. We're gonna take the Attune here. Yep. Does mean we have to run a decent number of forests, but that's probably okay. No Attune for us here. Take a Consulate Skygate, which I don't hate. Appetite for the Unnatural, basically the same. Don't hate it. Which do I like more? If we pick up some Gear Seekers, we're going to want some Consulate Skygates, that's for sure. An Appetite's a decent removal spell, but I think I'm going to go with the Skygate instead. We need artifacts, most likely anyway, in this particular color combination. So if I could pick up a third Attune, I would feel fine about splashing both of these. Would be nice to have another way to spend energy, but Attunes, again, not bad with Vidalcan Blade Master. Certainly not exciting either, but it is a card that gives you a lot of value, and then when you have a creature with prowess, well, there's a Gear Seeker Serpent. I wish this was the one where energy gives you +1/+1 counters, but it is not. We can bounce things. That doesn't do a whole lot for us. Yeah, I think we take Gear Seeker Serpent here. We do want more artifacts, so he'll be as good as he can be, but I think we can do that. I mean, we could take like a Pillar Bug here, just to have an artifact. We can also just take the Puzzle Knot. which might just be better, especially if we end up with some more energy sinks. Another malfunction doesn't seem exciting to me. Neither does another Blade Master. I mean, this doesn't really either. But now that we have a Serpent, I think we have some incentive to pick up artifacts. And we may, right now we don't have a great energy sink. We have Ether Theorist, but we may pick one up. So do we want High Tide Hermit? A way to spend our energy? Or Vidalcan Blade Master? Pyrohelix again. I mean, red seems decently open, but... And green, again, seems to be getting picked dry. So we may end up in trouble here, but the 2 attunes do make it a little easier on our mana. I guess I'll take High Tide Hermit. I guess it's more likely to play one of him than a second one of those. Okay, I'll take a Sky Skiff. It is an artifact after all. I will take Minister of Inquiries. It gives us a place to use all this energy. That isn't terrible. Another Gear Seeker. Okay. Well, it's still sort of in the cards. Like, if we could abandon green if we had to and be a little more responsible here. So it's worth thinking about as open as red's starting to look. I'll take Hazardous Conditions, I guess. I could take Torch Gauntlet, but Ardar Express for the sideboard. So we could cut green. And then play either red or white instead. Wouldn't be that hard for us to do. Although white doesn't look especially open. Red looks a lot more open. So we could think about doing this instead. Puzzle Knot gets a little worse, certainly. So I guess I kind of stick that there. Yep. We'll just have to see what our last pack shows us in terms of what other colors will be. I mean, the green, the thing about the green is it enables us to play a lot more stuff than just this. Like, it enables us to do a lot more. So that's worth thinking about. Maybe we'll just open a green bomb, Verdurous Gearhulk, and that'll just lock us in. But right now, it's amazing how many people are taking green. This is one of the things I don't love about the leagues. I like them for the most part, but clearly a lot of people are fighting over green in this particular draft, but it doesn't necessarily mean whoever you play was fighting over green, you know what I mean? Well, Prophetic Prism opens us up the opportunity to splash even without having green. There is also another Imperial Voyager, though. And that might be enough for me to say, all right, green, I'm not actually going to run that many of your cards, but I have enough good cards that are green and attunes with Aether to help me splash that I think I'm going to do it. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Which means we're going to try. This is what we'll try to do. I do like the Prism here, but I'm going to take the Voyager. I like him a lot. He is better if you actually have thriving creatures especially, but, if you have Minister of Inquiries, even freaking High Tide Hermit. And in addition, he just attacks in the sky, and that's great. So we'll take him. We will take him. Okay, another card we could think about splashing. Oh, okay. Well, I think I'm taking Imperial Voyager number 3. Pima Outrider is worth considering and might actually be the better pick, but, I can't say no. The reason it might be the better pick is because we have Gear Seeker Serpents. But I'm going all in on these Voyagers now that they're here for me. Okay, another Welding Sparks we could try to splash, but we might just want to take Experimental Aviator. We probably do. Great with Gear Seeker Serpent. And just a good card in general. Ooh. Speaking of splashing, it's also a Hunt the Weak, though, and a Thriving Turtle. These things all... I mean, right now we only have the one Self-Assembler, so he's not getting in the deck right now. Hunt the Weak is good with lots of our creatures, Imperial Voyager, yeah. Probably stretching myself too thin to try to splash that gold card. I mean, I'm already splashing white, but if I'm running 2 white cards, I'm going to feel less good about it. So I'll just take Hunt the Weak here. It's a good green card. It's a removal. Our deck has lots of creatures. So here's an Ether Hub. Do I actually want it more than the Meltdown because of its ability to help me splash? Our 2 very powerful removal spells. Which, if I do take it, I'm like, man, I wish I'd taken that Cloud Blazer, but what are you going to do? So in terms of removal, we got Malfunction, Hunt the Weak, these 2. I mean, I can easily cut Windrake without batting an eye. Meltdown is a good removal spell, and it gives us energy, but Ether Hub is pretty awesome when we already have a lot of ways to making energy. It'll be easy to fix. I think we take the Hub. Ooh, I wish I had more artifacts right now. I would take a third, but I think we just take an Eager Construct because we do need the artifacts. And none of the rest of this stuff is very exciting. So we'll just take another artifact here. We're up to 5, 6-ish artifacts. I think that's probably enough. I would generally like to have more than that, but what are you going to do? And I would love to have the module that pumps my guys when I get energy, but I don't think that's going to happen. No, I don't. Glass Blower's Puzzle Knot, I guess. Probably not going to run it. Although I do need... It might be worth thinking about running with 2 Gearseeker Serpents. Yeah, so I probably will take it and think about it. Another Skygate. I think I'd rather just run that than one of these Puzzle Knots. Picking up some incidental artifacts is pretty big for our Gearseeker. Ooh, well, we're going to try to mill people out then. We have lots of ways of making energy. We don't have the sexiest ways of using it, but Minister of Inquiries is a fine way of using it. So, I think these, start just sort of cutting the subpar playables in our deck. Don't know if I'll play you, but I might. You're certainly a good top curve, but I mean, I already have Gearseekers. So 1 mountain, 1 plains, probably fine. I guess Glassblowers sort of helps us fix more than Woodweavers does. There's another one. Should we decide we want it? Wow. Did not expect to see a Thriving Turtle come back to me, but that's awesome. Got some things we need to cut, certainly. I don't imagine that getting, those 2 Imperial Voyagers just told me I had to go blue-green, especially when I already had 2 Attunes with the Ether. So High Tide Hermit's probably out of here. Does give you a lot of energy, but I don't need a ton when I have 3 Imperial Voyagers, Okay. So we need to cut 2 cards from here. And the question is, what cards do we cut? Could just simplify things and cut one of our splash cards. Oh, I think we cut 1 Puzzle Knot. I don't think we need 2. I think I feel pretty good with 6, 7 artifacts for Gearseeker. I mean, it's not a ton, but it's enough. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. So yeah, we could decide to cut one of the cards we're thinking about splashing, making our mana base a little bit better. I think we have the capability to splash it, but our mana base probably would be better. And this is sort of a 7th artifact, I guess. I forgot about the Edge Crafters. I mean, it would probably be Welding Sparks if I cut one of them. Fairgrounds Warden's just so good. That might just be the responsible thing to do. Yeah, it probably is. All right, well, I think this will be the deck. There's some chance that we end up with these draws where we get like both Gearseekers and not enough artifacts, but it doesn't seem super likely. We have, one way of smoothing out our draws, a couple ways of thinning out our deck, and then another way of smoothing out our draws. I think we'll probably be okay. Would I have liked more artifacts? Probably. But not enough to run like another puzzle knot. I could think about it, but what would I cut? Like Edgecrafter, Malfunction. I think we need all those things. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is what we want. Explorer's Puzzle Knot's sort of a blue card, like half a one, we can think of it as. We have 3 double blues. We need green so that we can attune. So we probably need a little more green than it wants to give us. I think I feel better going 8-8, 8-8-1, yeah. Because the attunes can make sure we get our double or make sure we hit our white mana for our Fairgrounds Warden or whatever. So, right, this looks like the deck. Before I move on to the matches, I want to remind you guys that my content is sponsored in part by 5colorcombo.com. It's a great Magic website. You can find there lots of content created by different content creators, including myself, lots of videos, podcasts, things like that. They also have a Magic the Gathering store where you can buy playmats and tokens, and you can use my discount code NEEDSAHOME5 there for a 5% discount. And on top of that, they also have a great app for drafting Magic, as well as one for constructing decks. At least last I knew it was in the beta test period, but it'll be out very soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the first match.